Hello and good evening and welcome to PSGL round 3 of season 29. Apologies for the late stream. Unfortunately I had Streamlab issues, so I've had to resort to an old headset of mine on PS4, so I do apologise if stream quality is not 100%. Unfortunately Jake is not here tonight. It has been left over to me, who is a red mat. So it's very nice to be here. Thanks for the opportunity, and it's nice to be here for PSGL. So as always, if you could follow PSGL on Twitter, that would be very nice, and like and subscribe to the page so you'll not miss one single bit of action of PSGL. And already 9 viewers, welcome along to the stream. Again, apologies for the late stream, but at the moment we have Ruddy on provisional pole at the moment for a 1:40.8. So it's a nice lap time on here as we spectate the Alfa Romeo of IFR Noah. He comes across the line, finishes lap currently at 1:37, a bit aggressive through the bus stop. Where does this put him? Puts him into the top 10, P9 on 1:41.748. So it's a nice first lap there from him, from Noah. So we've got a yellow flag in sector 2, but again it just looks like cars are letting one another by there, so I cannot control that at all. And I'm just trying to get the stream up, see if I can see the comments, see who's in the chat at the moment, and hopefully I don't bore you tonight. But again, I've been trying to follow, make notes, see who's in championship contention, as I have the table up in front of me as we have the Haas go straight in from an outlap. As we have Belgium for 1:40.5, so we look towards the end of the lap, but Toxic Tomatoes lap. Well, as this put him, it looks like it's going to be a quick one. Very close, 2/10 shy of a 1:40.8, so it's a nice lap there from the Red Bull driver. But I'm curious to see how people do through El Rouge to Radion. As we know on this game, the rear end can be very twitchy and the bump can unsettle the rear a lot, so I'm interested to see what lines drivers are taking through there as Toxic Tomato takes too much of the corner and invalidates. It's an AlphaTauri 1-2 at the moment. Ruddish is set at 1:40.821. And we have yellow flags everywhere at the moment. I can't keep up with all the yellow flags at the moment. Who is on a lap at the moment? We're going to follow the end of this lap of Ares, of TG Ares. Uses every bit of track here. Nice, very nice through the end of sector 2 here. Is this going to be a purple middle sector? He's up 2/10, but the track is not going purple, so it's looking like an alright lap so far. Again, yellow flags, but it just looks like drivers are going slow, either low on fuel, so I don't believe a driver has gone off one bit. I'm just trying to get the drivers' standings up at the moment to see what the championship standings like at the moment. So 1:40.7 is very tight at the moment between the top 7. Let's just try and change data here. So I believe I've had a bit of an audio glitch at the moment. Just look at that. Top 7 separated by 3/10 around one of, well, the longest track on the calendar. But at least we have a race here today around Spa. It's nice to see cars going round doing more than one lap. So yeah, I'm not going to mention the weekend anymore at all. But 18 viewers, welcome along to F4 tonight. I had to think for a minute there. Again, yellow flags in sector 2. So I have lost my notes. Let's go into the PS4. Right. I have lost my notes. So currently in the table we have Ruddy, who is first on 20 points. Trinity in the Red Bull behind on 18 points, in the AlphaTauri of Dardwick in third. So currently he's on provisional pole at the moment, which will be good for championship hopes. But he's currently in the pits, allowing the drivers to rubber the track in more for him. But I'm finding here when people are going on their in-laps, they're running out of fuel, because with the track being that long, it's really, you want to make the car as light as possible. As you know, as the Alpine goes into a very tight pit lane, I must say. So I myself have been in the pit lane before, but these drivers have a lot more talent than me. This is why I'm in the comms box today, not on the track. If we look at the Haas driver of Jabraka, it looks like he's off into the pits. Looking at lap times, already hit 1 minute 40, so I believe he is off into the pits. I hope everyone's having a good bank holiday Monday here in the UK. So I hope you all had not been at work and you've been tuning in into PSGL tonight. And if you're wondering why there's a different tone of voice tonight, that is because it's Red Matt. It's not Jake. Jake is not very well. I've replaced him. I've been asked many times to cover the comms box. I've always had things on, but it's nice to be given the opportunity. So yeah, I hope this race is one to remember for the right reasons. Hopefully nothing goes wrong here, but there shouldn't do. Got 19 drivers here, not the full 20. But still nice to see great attendance on round 3 of season 29 of PSGL. If you want to tune into more races, then check out the PSGL YouTube channel. Subscribe as always, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss one bit of the action of PSGL. So ride on board the Ferrari of Koala. It's getting ready to prepare his lap. Don't be taking too much energy out the tyres with the track being so long. You'll be without tyres towards the end of the sector, but luckily you've got the back straight here to cool the tyres down. So we've got all the drivers getting ready to go on the final laps. The track will be the quickest point. Well, at least it's not raining, so we know how quick these cars are going. Judging by everyone going on the soft tyres, everyone, is it possibly going to be a wet race? So hopefully not. So ride on board with Koala as he brakes just after the 100-metre board here. Clips the corner very well. It's gone a bit deep. That would have compromised his exit as he has a car coming out the pit lane. Hopefully this doesn't affect his run up El Rouge to Radion. Got the corners right there. Got 3 comments. As the rear end looks to try and right away from him. As we go on to the main straight, he's getting ready to hit the brakes here. Just as this bit of curve arrives here, just on the left now. Just hit the brakes. Clip the corner very nicely there. I cannot read your comments unfortunately at the moment. And I'm just trying to find the issue with that, as my YouTube application on my PC has stopped working, as we have the Mercedes of Darragh crashed at sector 2. It looks like in the gravel trap there. So keep riding on board. Oh, the Ferrari has gone a bit wide, but not invalidated his lap, which is interesting to say the least. But we go on, but it looks like, has he abandoned his lap at all? Judging by the throttle inputs, he has abandoned his lap. Where shall we go? Right on board the current provisional pole sitter. Daldrick, AlphaTauri, I must say, is looking very nice through sector 2 at the moment. Is he up on his rouge rest? He's 1/10 down. But can he make it up at the bus stop chicane, keeping as close as possible to the edge of the track, doing the shortest lines as possible? What can he do here? The clock is up, so it's now or never for the drivers to see if they can get pole position. So look at Daldrick now, as you get a really good exit there, very nice exit there. Where's this put him? So close, almost pretty much identical to his current lap. Where's the McLaren? He is invalidated. The kind of Aston Martin's limbo going up to P2. Very nice lap from him. Where's the other AlphaTauri? To P4. So Ryan on board now is 3/10 up currently on his best lap. Does he get a very nice exit here? He does indeed. Where will this put him? He puts it on pole. 140.450. Ares Very nice lap there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Is anyone else able to challenge him? Ron, I do apologise if I do say names wrong, is currently cut up on his lap. Going down the bus stop chicane. Just want to get the best exit as possible. A bit twitchy on the edge there. Where does this put him? To P5 at 140.758. It's Trinity in the Red Bull. He is 3 seconds down on his time, as Martin has unfortunately invalidated. Where would have this put him at a 141.15? So a nice lap down from Martin. Where's the Haas driver go? Up into P4, even though the graphics said he was in P11 briefly there. Nice lap from him there, Trinity. Again, he's clearly made a mistake, so he's off into the pits, as you cannot retire on the track, as that will warrant a penalty. So this looks like it is your set grid then. Pole position for Ares in the Alfa Romeo. Let's get his time going. Whereabouts is he in the standings? He's currently P17. Got no points on the board currently, so this will be a good opportunity for him to get a whole of points on the championship standings. Followed by Dowdick, who is currently in P3 in the driver's standings. So who do you think is going to win the race tonight, people? Go on, comment below to see where you think people will finish in the race. Just going to try and read the comments, as for some reason my comment box is not working. But here is your qualifying results then. For 140.450, it's Ares, followed by Dordic in the AlphaTauri and the Haas driver of DB19, and then followed by Slimbo, Gomi, Kunef, Ronham, Ruddy, Toxic Tomato, I love that name, Koala in the top 10. And then for the free choice of tyres, you got Trinity, Martin, Soral, Gustav, Darriga, TDG, Noah, Symbolics and Sender rounding off the back of the grid. Right, I've got the chat up, I can see you all now, so hello everybody. And it is raining, and unlike the real Spa Grand Prix, we will be racing, we'll be doing more than 2 laps, as there's a car bunny hopping on the grid to your left. So hopefully that won't bring any issues to the race at all. I'm just seeing if there's any issues in the stewards room. I'm looking on the F4 PS from round 2 of France. There's not really any penalties to be aware of for this race, so I'm sorry, I can't get that bunny hopping car in P5 out of the way. But with it being a wet race, I'm not sure if it's going to go from wet to dry, but this does leave an opportunity for an upset and a surprise result here in Belgium. Thank you for the 29 of you tuning in tonight. It's very nice to have you here on this bank holiday Monday. We all got the set of intermediate tyres on. The strange thing with intermediates, you don't want to get them too warm, you want to keep them in a nice operating window. But I'm interested to see what starters the Honda Red Bull of Toxic Tomatoes, having a nice little wiggle there. One friendly way of saying hello, but that seems to be the way of warming up his tyres. As we have Robin in the chat saying, come on TTG. We'll be happy, TTG. Ares is on pole for you today. As we don't want to be doing that, Toxic Tomato. Sergio Perez, it didn't end well for him there. But luckily he's gone the other way today. Let's keep an eye on the Alpine, who's at the back of the grid. We'll see who is our quickest reserve driver at the moment. could be hands in here. No. It's really trying to keep up to date with what's happening in F4. I tried to do a quick little catch up today before F4, as again it's not Jake, so I've not got the smartest brain, and as a car spun it on the outlap, there seems to be a Mercedes at the back. It is Darragher. But the game's saying 1 stop, 2 stop, but I don't think that strategy is going to be realistic. But with me being in the commentary booth, I am unsure of what the strategy will be. Jungus? Nice naming, Jungus. I'm very well, and again, I'm just super excited for this race. I'm not sure where everyone will finish, because a wet race always spices things up, but the number 13 car of Ares gets ready to line up on the grid. Hopefully that number is not unlucky for him and it brings him luck today. I'm touching wood. I have not jinxed Ares. If I have, I will be expecting a lot of angry DMs from the TTG boys, but hopefully that is not the case. Let's get some of the information up here as we await for the 5 red lights. So we have 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights ready for PSGL season 29 round 3 of Spa. Lights out and away we go. Seems to be a great start from Ares here. It's a bit squirmy there from Jared Bracker. We're going into turn 1. That seems to be nice and clean so far, but the Haas driver of DB19 has snuck in front here as he takes the lead of the Belgium Grand Prix. It's followed by Ares, Dardik, Slimbo, Cunneth, Jan Bracker, Warren. Ruddy has gone up into P7. He's cut the top of Radion. There seems to still be going side by side down the main straight. Who is going to back out here? It's going side by side. It seems to be side by side. Up ahead. Apologies. Trying to keep up with all the action. Trying to get as much in as possible. But it is the Haas driver PV19 who takes the lead, followed by Ares, Dordrick in P3 and Slimbo in P4. As we look further down back of the grid, there seems to be some action with the Williams and the Alpine driver, as the McLaren goes a bit wide there as we go into No Name. Very nice and clean from all these drivers, as you expect in PSGL. But will these conditions worsen? We will have to wait and see. But what a start from the Haas driver, who has been the biggest winner on the start so far. It's Symbolics, who's up 3 position. Trinity, don't know what's happened to him here. He has gone down 6 positions. Not the ideal start for TTG, but it's still 21 laps to go here, as we have 1 more lap to do before we beat the official F1 laps completed round here at Spa. It's a 6/10 lead DB has, but all it takes is 1 little mistake here around Spa. We just have to keep it cool and calm. But as we approach the first lap here, is over and done with. To have a yellow flag in sector 3. What has happened back here as the Alpha, I do apologise, Aston Martin, it's getting a bit squirmy there as the Alpine almost loses control and I can't switch to the right car, as you know Codemasters seem to have a timing glitch at the moment which is completely out of my control, as we have Toxic Tomato into the pits for a front wing change, which is unfortunate. That might possibly be why there is yellow flags, but yeah, not the ideal from Toxic Tomato. I'm pretty sure he is not in P2 at the moment. As we have cars side by side, but I cannot switch to the vehicle I want because Codemasters has apparently Koala's used all of his deployment. I don't think that's correct. I may be wrong, but I'm not sure how he's used all of his deployment already when he's got 90% of his battery to use up. But nevertheless, it'll be all about the drivers now trying to keep it together onto the track there. Because I wonder which drivers have practice in the rain. I do apologise, James, if the microphone is terrible. I had originally set it up on my PC with my Snowball microphone. I've had to resort to, unfortunately, my old PS4 headset. I do apologise if the stream is not ideal for anybody at all. Currently it's DV19 who is in the lead of the race, followed by Ares, who isn't falling too far behind. Slimbo closer. Well, the top three are still quite close together on the track, and I'm pretty sure Knuff is not one lap behind, as he very twitchy rear end. But as we look behind, we have the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri going side by side. Koala seems to get a good exit out there and keeps his P7. Look further behind, the cars going side by side everywhere, trying to keep up to date on all the action on track. This corner here up to Radion, I always spin out in the dry, but in the wet, I'm glad I'm up here in the commentary box, not on the track. Will we see a change in conditions? And Ronnie almost goes into the back of Ruddy. I was getting caught out there from how early Ruddy braked, but having to change your braking points in the wet is not easy. As again, I'm pretty sure Knuff is not 1 minute 56 behind Nordic F1 in front. So looking at the back, Toxic Tomato's not had the ideal start, down 10 positions, even though it's saying he's been up 10 positions on the track. But I don't know about you, but it looks like it's getting a bit brighter out on track as DV19 goes a bit wide. That would have been a warning. Don't want to be picking up too many of them, as you may result in a penalty, and that may prevent him from getting the race win. We don't want that at all, do we, people? But do let us know in the comments below if there is any issues with audio at all, and I will try and address that. But I was called up as a reserve, so I do apologise if the stream is not up to the amazing qualities of Jake. As DV has locked up and gone a bit wide here, this leaves an opportunity from Aris here. Can he get the exit towards the main straight? No, DV has got a decent exit, but DV is feeling the pressure from Ares here as a TTG, supporting him as another bit of all-wheel drift there from DV19. But he keeps P1. But for how long? How much ERS does DV have? He doesn't have as much, but you find in the wet you don't deplete as much. But what a run here Ares has got now, going down the main straight here. Is he going to go round the outside? Still going side by side. What will the Haas driver do? He blocks it off as he almost goes into the back of DV19. Hopefully Ares hasn't picked up any damage. I mean, from my end, it looks like he was very close. But hopefully for the TGG boys, he hasn't picked up any damage, and hopefully he's looking for his first race win of the season. As we look at last week's winner of Knuff in P5 currently. Keeping his distance, he's staying there or thereabouts. He's just behind Dordic, who was P2 in Bahrain. So, looking quite a close championship so far, as DRS has been enabled, but the track is still quite wet. So are we at the crossover point here for dry tyres? It's really into the unknown at the moment, but will there be more rain? We just don't know. We just don't know. We have to wait and see what happens on track. But currently your top three at the moment is DV, Ares and Slimbo, but who will blink first? Who will pit for the tyres? Everybody's blinking first. So hopefully nobody speeds into the pit lane. I hope I haven't jinxed anybody here. No. Nice and clean into the pit lane, but who stays out? It will have to be their teammates who stay out. So Jambraka takes the lead of the race, followed by Random. Everybody has gone into the pits here. Who will be held up into the pit lane? As that was very close. DV only just getting ahead of the Alfa Romeo driver. Now they'll be going up El Rouge to Radion for the first time on a damp track on dry tyres. Still looking wet here, as the Aston Martin almost loses it up going El Rouge, but DRS is enabled now. Does DB have what it takes to defend? No, he does not. And Ares is currently P3, but he currently takes, I believe, will be the lead of the race when the cars in front go into the pits. So that's a very important move done there from Ares. So what tyres has everybody gone on? We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Schender, as I feared, has spun it up Radion. It's a very tricky corner that here. Did he pick up any that he has? Indeed, he has lost his front wing as he keeps out of the way of Toxic Tomato. That's very unfortunate from Schender, who currently is 18th in the driver's standing. Now, how are them intermediates doing? I was looking at the time now. They have lost so much time. But again, if the Haas driver, I don't know if the Haas driver pitted, would have that held up the Alfa Romeo of Ares? Because would it have been such a tight pit lane? It's probably just as well for Ares Jambraka didn't pit, because that would have cost Ares a lot of track position. But as Ronham and Jambraka pit, it is Ares who currently takes the lead of the race. DV19 still staying within DRS range of Ares. Slimbo and the Aston Martin having a good race so far, currently in P3, currently 11th in the drivers' standings. Let's see if we can get a nice haul of points here, but interesting in Koala, onto the hard tyres. Can the medium tyres make it to the end of the race from now? They never rule out a safety car though, never rule out at all. As Koala tries to defend, but he's just no use. The DRS is just so powerful down here. And Tarala takes P6 from the reserve driver, who has not finished in his 2 current entries. So hopefully, I'm touching wood here, third time lucky here for Tarala. Currently sitting in a nice P6 at the moment. As I'm looking down into the chat, from the pit lane, yes, Jake, that has really screwed over teammates at the moment. But looking at Ruddy and Dordy, do let me know if I'm saying names incorrectly. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Who has spun it here? It is... I cannot pronounce the name. I do apologise. It's KJ. I was going to call him KJX, because I do not know how to say his name, unfortunately. But it looks like he is looking like maybe he's clipped it on the curb, or he's got to a bit of a wet patch and it's sent him off into a spin. Hopefully he's not damaged his car at all, as we've got a 3-second penalty for Gustav as he tries to find the limits of the track. As Ares just goes to show his pace around here today at 146.6. That's the bonus point currently for him at the moment. And he's broken the DRS, importantly, of DV19. Now DV19 has Slimbo behind him to think of now. Looking at ERS, they're all quite similar on ERS. As DV19 is not depleting any of his overtake, and I think he's just realising it's just not worth defending. And Slimbo is up into P2, DV into P3, but just looks like he's biding his time, looking after his tyres. So I do think he'll be still in close proximity for a podium, as we have again a yellow flag in Sector 3, and Schender's just not having a great race and he's left the session. Will that bring out a safety car at all? I just hope the Ghost car does not bring out safety car at all. I'm not sure if he has to rejoin and retire his car, because now we have an AI car going around the track. Hopefully that does not affect any of the results of the drivers, but we'll just have to wait and see. As Ares has a 1.5 second lead. Slimbo has not broken away from the Haas driver, but the Haas driver does have a lot more ERS to play with. May I ask, how do you get into commentary? You sort of just have to feel it, you know, it's just look at what's happening on track and just explain what's happening. Is you're probably best asking Jake comments when he's in the comments box regarding commentary, because I'm still quite a rookie in the commentary scene, hence why I'm a reserve. But if it weren't for Jake, I wouldn't be involved in PSGL at all, so great thanks again to Jake for giving me this opportunity. But instead of all the thank you messages, we have a race going on here as Noah currently now has the fastest lap in the sister Alfa Romeo racing car. But Ares looks like he has broken away from Slimbo. Just looking at time, you think it's at least a 4/10 gain you get down the main straight with DRS, as you don't want to be hitting that curve too much, as we have a car retired. I believe he's just retired in the pit lane, which is what I believe you're supposed to do. Shenda, I think, may get into a bit of trouble here, but I might be wrong for leaving the session. But he wasn't having a great race at all, and it won't help him at all in the next round, which is around Hungary, I believe. No, it's not, it's around Sandbot, I do apologise. But he's retired in the pit lane, but his car is coming back out onto the track. Looking further down the grid, we have the Haas driver with, again, Aston Martin Haas battling out on the track around here. This will be a close battle here at the rear wing of Jan Brackett. So we have a yellow flag at El Rouge, and yes, that's just a McLaren. Okay, JX retiring from the race, unfortunate for him. But yeah, at least he's retired in a safe location. I'm just keeping an eye on the intervals, see who's closest on track, see if we can get as much action on track as possible, as we've got the Alfa Romeo closing in on Martin. Not quite close enough though to the rear wing of that Williams. What I'm going to keep a close eye on though is that hard tyre runner of Koala. Let's see how he does, but Ruddy has not broken away from Koala, unless he's just overtaken Ruddy. If he has, I do apologise. Does he lift off the throttle? A little lift off the throttle from the Ferrari driver of Koala, but because of this DRS train, Jan Bracker can just not get past Koala at the moment. As we look further back, of the Alfa Romeo of Noah, who overtakes the Williams driver Os Martin. That's Noah up into P11. It looks like Noah got a bit squirmy on the exit there, but Martin wasn't close enough, and that is now him down into P12. The biggest gainer at the moment is Sarai, the reserve driver, in P6. I believe he's the reserve driver, he is indeed. As Trinity now gets a 3-second time penalty. As Dargo also gets a 3-second time penalty. We have a yellow flag. Who has spun it? It's Noah. Noah has DNF'd, and there's a full course yellow. It is a safety car, and Ares' lead has now gone. Now where will this put everyone? Everyone is now going to all bunch up again. This has saved the race of Toxic Tomato, and Ruddy's picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Our championship leader, currently in the standings, now has a drive-through penalty. Unbelievable. He'll be absolutely furious. But it's interesting that Ares has pitted, as Ruddy has retired from the session. Is that on track? Or is he retired in the pit lane? That's so unfortunate for Ruddy. Hopefully he can explain in the chat exactly what happened. But it has been known, it's happened to me times on the game, where the delta will just suddenly spike down into the red and there's just nothing you can do. Well, it's really unfortunate there for Ruddy, but Toxic Tomato goes on to the medium tyres and hopefully shouldn't be needing to pit again, and he'll be going towards the end of the race. So Ares on his second stop now, on the freshest tyres. What does Slimbo and DV19 do now? Knowing that Ares is only in P8, he's not that far away from the road, and he's on fresher rubber. Yes, okay, by only a couple of laps, but you have to remember, how long is Spa-Francorchamps? It is a very, very long circuit indeed. So, you find the undercut here. Yes, okay, we're under safety car, but the undercut here, 9 times out of 10 works. It's been such a long circuit, but I'm guessing by drivers pitting in for a fresh set of mediums, there won't be any more rain forecast at all. Look into messages. Is there anything from Jake? Not at all. So I seem to be doing all okay. I hope everyone is enjoying the stream tonight. And whilst we are under the safety car, why don't you go and get a drink? Keep us on though. Get a drink. You know, have a look at the Twitter at PSGL. You know, just give it a cheeky little follow. That would be fantastic. And again, make sure the bell icon is on the YouTube page, so you don't miss a single piece of PSGL action. Which the race brings to a halt as we approach lap 11 of the PSGL season 29 Belgian Grand Prix. Wish we could ride on board with the safety car. Look at the rear view of the safety car. Does anybody, as Arai looks to burn fuel, but surely will that wear your components and will you lose power? I'm not sure how that works, but hopefully someone in the chat can explain that, but I'm pretty sure you'll be wearing down your components doing that and losing power, unless that's just me thinking too much into career mode and it doesn't affect online at all. But looking at the biggest gainers so far, if I can find the graphics, it's alright. Currently in P5, but Simbax, P11, he's having an okay race so far in that Williams. I'm just looking at the championship standings now. Dordrecht, I believe, will take the lead of the championship as things stand. I believe so. Because currently second in the standings, Trinity, is down in P14 with a penalty as well. So it's not been a great race for Ruddy. And of course it's not been a great race for Ruddy. He's retired down in P17, which is unfortunate for him. Hopefully I can find out if he's in the stream. You can explain or just message what exactly happened. But it just looks like the drive-through penalty, just thought it wasn't worth it. Retire from the race, just save his energy for another day. But is there any indication of the safety car coming in? I don't believe so, because Schender is still at the start of Sector 2. So we hit the halfway point of the Belgian Grand Prix with Ares on the freshest set of tyres. He's currently gone down to P12, so I'm not sure if that's a game issue or has he actually spun it under the safety car. I do apologise if I wasn't looking. I'm not 100% sure what's happened to him there. So it looks like the safety car is staying out for one more lap. But yeah, I'm guessing by the track brightening up, we are not forecast any more rain whatsoever. That explains in qualifying why no one opted to pit for the medium tyres. So who's everyone cheering on then in the chat? Let's have a look. Only seeing TTG at the moment. But who's everyone rooting for today? Who are you a fan of in today's F4 race? Nice to have you back, Big Junkus. Oh God, I don't know. I shouldn't laugh at comments, but I do love your username. Indeed. Everyone cheering everyone on, because this corner we're coming up now, Air Rouge to Radiant, on this game, it is so tricky compared to the previous game where you could be like, yep, nice, easy flat, but now you're scared to lose the rear. And the amount of times I've spun it up here, it's unbelievable. Currently on penalties, with the most penalties at the moment is Trinity, with 6 seconds worth of penalties. So he doesn't want to be picking up any more, as that may be costly. For all you know, towards the end of the championship, those penalties could be the cause. So I'm just looking at positions gained. Currently, it is the reserve driver of Sarai, 24. And as I look into the comments with Jake, I do agree. I'm touching wood here. Please touch wood, Jake. But Sarai has indeed had a fantastic race. But I'm going to try and not focus on him because I do not want to jinx him. You know, I've had it before in the past with Jess Games, who has said it to me in the past on stream when I've been racing. And that didn't end well for me after she mentioned that, but I will not let that happen to anyone here on the stream, as the safety car is now in this lap. How will Slimbo gather the pack? Hopefully no one picks up a 5-second time penalty, as this can happen when you're backing up the pack. I'm pretty sure if anything like that happens, the stewards will sort it out. But I do agree with you, Koala. The safety car is bad news for him indeed. Them on the hard tyre. Just have to keep an eye on him, see how he does. But he's had an okay race so far. I'll be prepare for the track to go green and Koala Slimbo to let the pack loose. When will he go? When will DB react to the Aston Martin driver? He's really toying with them. There we go now, Slimbo has put the power down now. Great restart here from Slimbo as he still is in the lead, followed by DB, Cunnif, Dordrick. Sarai, who is really close. I mean, I do apologise, John Bracker, who was close to Koala, but he didn't get the best exit at all. Will this leave him vulnerable from Runham? So see how much confidence people now have going up. Radion. Very nice there. As we look in front now, Ares has now picked up a 3-second time penalty. Oh no. Not ideal for TTG, but it's Cunnif who's the lead TTG driver at the moment. Waving the flag high for TTG at the moment in P3. Stordic still in with the running of the podium. He sort of kept it there or thereabouts. Ready to pounce on the mistake if it happens in front, but hopefully no one makes a mistake. Especially Sarai, I don't want to jinx him. As Koala, very wide of the dirty air and the hard tyre does just not have the grip of the medium tyre. I'll tell you now, the hard tyre, for me personally on this game, is not a very nice race tyre, but risk sometimes equals reward, and Koala is trying to get that reward. He's currently up 4 positions. So let's look on board our second most position gained runner, Sim Alex. I was looking at the rear of the Mercedes of Darren. Will he send a little injury? But as we look behind us, Ares has gone down the inside. There's got the Mercedes going to turn in, and Ares has spun it. That's really, really unfortunate there. He tried to do the move on the Williams or Sirax, but Darrow turned in and left Ares with nowhere to go, and he's now left tumbling down to P16. But he has the pace to at least make it up into the top 10s, but never give up. There's always something going to happen down the line. Very unfortunate from Ares that. As Toxic Tomato has to cut the corner there as the dirty air upset the balance of his car. But will he make the move on the Shender here? No, he does not, as DRS is not enabled yet. As Koala starting to form a bit of a train behind him now. Sarai has broken the DRS range of Koala, which Koala will be desperately trying to get within the 1 second window of Sarai. So it looks to me the way things go in the top 5 will break away from the pack a bit here, as Koala is using every bit of track possible. Looking further back. I thought those cars side by side going there, but unfortunately not. Howard is the lead. Aston Martin driver doing nice little gap at the moment here. Just minding his time, minding his own business. But look at this. A 78% ERS to Slimbo's 50%. DV is managing his ERS very well. It's a nice little lift and coast here to harvest more battery power into his ERS system. But Slimbo needs to be a bit cautious here because he's... How long can he defend his leaders? We've got a yellow flag at the bus stop once again. Who was that? It looked like it was Toxic Tomato, and unfortunately he's had to pit again. He's not had the most ideal race, and he has retired into the pit lane. Does this cause a safety car or virtual safety car? We will wait and see, but look at this now. Koala is out of the DRS range. He is very vulnerable here. It's Jan Bracker of the Haas car. Jan Bracker go around the outside. Now the Aston Martin, will he do two moves in one go? He hasn't, does he? He has almost gone down the... Oh, there's contact. There's contact between the Haas driver and Ronan. That will be investigated into the stewards before, as I lose track of what to say, as Ares has now left the session. But again, we see again side by side, and unfortunately the car on the inside has spun. It's very unfortunate for Ronan. And again, as Ares' car has now picked up a penalty, his AI car has given him a penalty as Dordic now gets a 3-second time penalty, but that was very unfortunate from the Aston Martin driver and Jan Bracker, which I believe, well, him had been investigated by the stewards, but I'm not sure what I think of that. It's just side by side action there. So it's interesting to see what will come out of that, as the other Haas driver is now all over the gearbox. Slimbo will be absolutely sweating here, trying to keep the cars behind in front, as Aris is now rejoined, to which he will be probably not impressed that his AI car's given him a penalty for ignoring yellow flags, but pretty sure that may be appealed. So we go for the 16th time up through Radions, rear end tries to break away from Slimbo here, and that may leave him vulnerable to Gunnoff, but the DRS highly likely will slave. What will Slimbo do? Will he defend? He does not. He stays on the racing line. We're going side by side. Please don't be contact again, fellas. Already had one Aston Martin spin as the Haas driver stays round the outside. They're still going side by side into the off-camber right hand. Does the Haas driver keep it down the outside? No. Very well defended there from the Aston Martin driver, as DB now has to think about the other drivers behind him now, as look at this, Sarai is now up into P4. I am touching wood because I do not want to jinx him one single bit. Asking him, why do you not want to jinx him? Stop going on about him. I do apologise. I would not try and focus on him one bit, but he has been the star man of the show today so far. Very, very impressive from the reserve driver of Sarai. Focusing now on the leader, looking at the ERS depletion now. Will he have enough left to defend at the end of the race? I'm really highly doubting now, but still all to play for here at Spa. It's been an action-packed race so far, as Kenneth has just popped up that he's picked up a penalty, and look at how close he gets to the gearbox as DB tries to do a wide into tight turn to try and get a good exit onto the main straight. I just lost my words again, I do apologise, but when there's action on track I stutter. It's unbelievable right now. The battle for the lead, the top 6, top 7 even, the top 10, oh my goodness, everyone is in so much close proximity at the moment. Koala popped down to P10 on the hard tyres, is just trying to stay within the points now, but the ERS light is blinking on Slimbo. It looks like he is low on ERS, he just has nothing to defend. And that is the Haas driver up into P1, but now the McLaren is down the inside of the Aston Martin driver. But now the Alpine's looking to have a little go to try and get a podium, but that Aston Martin now, Sarai will be aware of how low of ERS Slimbo is. and which Sorai just needs to keep in close proximity of the Aston Martin driver, as Kunov is just every single bit of the track at the moment to try and keep within DV19. DV19 will be using as much ERS as possible now to try and break that 1 second window, and Kunov will be aware of that and trying to not let that happen. As the rear end of DV goes a bit twitchy there, he's pushing the car to the limit, and that's leave Kunov into close proximity. Now there's 4/10 between the top two drivers now. Will Kunov send it down the inside? He's using every bit of ERS he has left. As Kunov, will he look to go down the inside of the bus stop? He goes left. Will he do the quick little switcheroo? No, he does not, as DV lets him by, but is that a tactical loss of position for Kunov? But Kunov won't care. He is now in the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. We're now on lap 18 of 22 here, but Kunov will be aware of how strong that DRS is down the main straight, the Kemmel straight should I say. I'm so bad with corner names, I do apologise. As the Haas driver, is he close enough to take the lead of the race? I do not think so, but Kunov does use his ERS to deplete. He does deplete his ERS to try and defend. It's not a Sorai, it's now up into P3. I do apologise, I missed that. I do apologise for that, but Sorai is up into P3, but I did say I am not concentrating on him. I do not want to jinx him one single bit, but he is closing in now on a DV19. He is penalty free. Kunov, do not forget, has a 3-second time penalty. That could be the reason Kunov loses the race. He has to make a 3-second gap. DV19, Sorai, Doric, Slimbo and Jambraka. He could lose quite a couple of positions here because of a 3-second time penalty. Still all to play for here round Belgium. Everyone now just trying to keep within 3 seconds of Kunov to gain a free position. As we look now further down the grid, Koala in P10 now. Trinity, have a little look down the inside now. He does not, he stays behind the Ferrari of Koala. As we look at the leader, setting fastest lap, what's the fastest lap? Sorai setting the fastest lap, 1:43.7. He'll be getting a bonus point so far. Look how close his car's. Martin's gone a bit wide here, this will leave him vulnerable from his teammate. Do not collide, teammate. He does not indeed. Blax is now up into P7. Will this leave Martin vulnerable now to the Mercedes of Gustav? It does indeed, as teammates good bit of slipstream, bit of argy-bargy here. Keep it clean, boys. We're going to keep it side as players on the racing line. The soft tyres of Gustav just has more mechanical grip. And that is the Mercedes up into P8. Very nice little move there indeed. This is where we're going to focus now. Top three, we're not going to focus on Sorai because I don't want to jinx him at all. Oh, dearie me. But DV19 is keeping in close proximity, but he'll be aware of the 3-second time penalty of Kunov. Schender again has picked up another time penalty. 12 seconds worth of penalties for the Alpine driver. I believe the light shade of blue. I have no idea how this race is going to end. We've got 3 laps to go round Spa-Francorchamps. We've got 30 viewers here tonight. Thank you ever so much for watching along. It's been an action-packed race so far. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Is that the Mercedes of Darragh? It is indeed. Will that bring? It brings a safety car on the penultimate laps. This will be a sprint showdown here at Spa-Francorchamps. Tweet it out to your friends. Message your friends. I'll just get as much people in here. This is going to be a tense finale to this Belgian Grand Prix. So safety car grabs the leader of Kunov just in time. This would have been a blessing in disguise for those who are low on ERS mode. From a wet start, we had Ares, who was on pole position. He's now currently down in P13 to which He will now put a fresh set of softs on, and this gives him an opportunity to get back into the race. So all keeping a close eye on Ares to see how he will recover from this. So how many laps behind the safety car will we stay? Will it be the 1 or will it be 2? Knowing the game, it probably will be 2, so it will be highly likely a 1 lap showdown. But can Sarai keep it together? Please, please, Sarai, keep it together. I need to shut up there. I need to stop trying to jinx Sarai. I do apologise once again. But currently that highest person with the freshest tyres is Symbolics, who is again another quite high gainer. He's now currently the highest gainer on the grid at 11 places from Symbolics. That's a fantastic race. Knuff now I believe he will now take the lead of the driver's standings. I believe as drivers deplete as much fuel as possible to making the car as light as possible. It's not a game glitch, it's people trying to deplete their fuel in their car. Ares, safety car, is in this lap. Ares has just caught up, his tyres will be at a very fine temperature indeed, but we will focus on the lead runner, Knuff, who is currently in P1, DV in P2, so right in P3. Will the top 10 stay like this? We do not know, as Koala has pitted for a fresh set of soft tyres. Who are the fresh runners? The bottom 3 on the fresh set of soft tyres, keeping a close eye on how they do. But we will, for now, focus on the leader to see where the leaders will finish. Those with penalties, indeed. Jake will hate this very much, as this would have really compromised their race. Knuff now has to make a 3-second gap with 2 laps to go. Luckily for him, DRS will not be enabled, as we will not have enough laps for DRS to be enabled, I believe so. So as we go up for the 21st time to Radion, Knuff is still currently in the lead, but the Haas driver is in very close proximity. Is Knuff burning a lot of ERS? He is indeed. As DB burns his as well, but if we look further down the grid, is there anybody battling side by side position? There is indeed. There's Ares. Does he look to go down the inside? He has a bit of flash right there. He does not want a repeat. He does not want a spin. Oh no, I've just jinxed him massively, and he's into the barrier, and that is Ares' race done and dusted. That is very unfortunate for Ares after such a promising qualifying, as we now have another spinner of Gustav on 10 lap soft tyres. It's so unfortunate. Drivers are pushing the absolute limits of the track now. But Koala up into P8. He is now going to be the one to watch now. Freshest set of soft tyres now at the car in front. 10 lap tyres. They will be very, very worried now. Can Koala make it up into P6? I reckon that's where he will finish. But so right now, his battle over DV19. He knows if he can get in front of that Haas driver. He is on for a win, is the reserve driver. Stevie has used up. He's derated on the final lap. We're now on the final lap of this Belgian Grand Prix. It's so hard on the brakes is Sarai. What run out of the last corner does he get? Doesn't get the ideal exit at all. As we look further down the grid, we're going side by side up to El Rouge, up to Radion. It doesn't quite work. Look at the run Simbox has on the Haas driver. We're going side by side up the Camel Straight. Who is going to be the last of the lake breakers? Is he going to look to go around the outside? Will there be enough space at all? No, there is not. John Backer nicely defended here, keeps his P6. But now we have Koala on them fresh set of soft tyres. Will Simbox defend aggressively? He does indeed. But just the amount of grit Koala has. It's just like taking candy from a baby. He is now up into P7. He now has all eyes on that Haas driver in P6. As we approach the end of the race, we'll keep our eyes on the leader of Cunniff, who is up 5 positions, having a very nice race. As we look further back now, as Koala has now lost out on the Williams now, as he made a bit of a mistake here. But even nevertheless, he's now staying in P7. We'll have to keep close eyes on that all. But as we look at the leader now, here's Cunniff. What a hectic Spa race we've had from start to finish. Started from the wet, now in these lovely dry conditions. As we come across the line, here is your winner for round 3. Is Cunniff, who on track takes the win. But when penalties get applied, as we have a spinner of Runham. Oh no, that is very, very unfortunate indeed. But it's DB19 who takes the win here round Spa-Francorchamps, and my driver of the day, Zurai, takes P2 here round Spa. P3 followed up by Slimbo in the Aston Martin. What a chaotic race it was indeed round Belgium. I'm very thankful for the opportunity. Thank you, Jake, for giving me this opportunity, and it's unfortunate you were not here to commentate on such a thrilling Spa race. But here we see DV taking the win here around Spa. What a very action-packed race this was indeed. But before I end the stream, do not forget to subscribe, like this video, and click the bell icon on YouTube so you do not miss a single bit of the PSGL action. And for any more the latest news, follow PSGL on Twitter. I'll give you a last rundown here. It's DV19 who takes the win here, followed by Sarai, who takes the fastest lap and gets that bonus point. So a very, very nice race there from Sarai. And P3 is Slimbo. And the highest TG driver, Cunniff, in P4. Jan Brackett P5, Koala at P6. Dordic P7, Martin P8, Simbucks P9. And running off the top 10 is Ronham. So thank you very much everyone for tuning in for tonight. Don't forget to tune into other races that are happening currently on the PSGL F1 YouTube channel. But I have been Redmat, and I really hope you've enjoyed today's stream, and hopefully you'll see me in the commentary box soon for another event of PSGL. So hopefully Jake will be back for round 4 around Zandvoort, but for now, it's good night.